What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another video. Today we're going to be doing my reaction to Manchester City's defeat at Anfield against Liverpool in the Premier League by 2-0. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links, they're in the description. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok, email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim, and do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What can Manchester City learn going forward from this defeat at Anfield for the remainder of the season? So we're just going to dive straight in and speak about all the talking points from this game. Firstly, we're going to start off with the lineups. We had a huge call made by Pep Guardiola with Stefan Ortega given the nod ahead of Ederson. Ederson, of course, in his last couple of games, in City's home games, from the Tottenham Hotspur losing 4-0, and of course the 3-3 draw against Feyenoord midweek in the Champions League meant that City had conceded 7 goals in our last 2 games, and Pep Guardiola deemed that Stefan Ortega was going to be given the nod here against Liverpool. And I did put out a tweet yesterday saying this was Stefan Ortega's chance for him to become Manchester City's number 1. He keeps a clean sheet in this game. He would start in the game against Nottingham Forest. He keeps a clean sheet in that game as well, and City get back to winning ways and get back-to-back wins with back-to-back clean sheets. I'd say that Stefan Ortega would be Manchester City's new number 1. He hasn't kept a clean sheet, and I think Ederson's going to be given the nod against Nottingham Forest. So big call there made by Manchester City. Looking at the back line, I think a big call not going with Josko Gvardiol. He's not looked, I mean, overall this season, I think Josko Gvardiol's looked decent for Manchester City. However, he hasn't looked too great over the last few games. And we got Nathan Ake given the nod here ahead of Josko Gvardiol, and going off Nathan Ake having a lot of success in the past against Mohamed Salah, I can understand why Ake was preferred. Really nice to see Ruben Dias return to the City starting 11 and to see him get 90 minutes as well. So there was some positives to take from this game. Kyle Walker once more given the nod. Rico Lewis given the nod as well. Ilkay Gundogan in there in midfield. Bernardo Silva. I just feel like Manchester City lack lots of legs. You saw Liverpool's press, and you always speak about the importance of it coming from midfield, but your first line of pressing is coming from your attacking line, and I really wanted Manchester City to put Liverpool under pressure, because it was Liverpool that needed to win this game rather than Manchester City, because Liverpool were firm favourites. They had a point to prove, to say, can they beat the Premier League champions? Well, going off the form that City had been in and Liverpool had been in, City were the underdogs going into this game, which takes all the pressure away from Manchester City, and it was up to Liverpool to go out and make a statement, to score first. And the first 15 minutes, I always look for Man City to make that statement in the game, to put the opposing team on the back foot. But it was Liverpool, not just throughout the first 15 minutes, but throughout the whole first half, putting Manchester City onto the back foot. They were bullying Manchester City, pressing City really high. City were really struggling to distribute and get the ball out. Liverpool's set play far better than Manchester City's, and if we're being honest, Liverpool really should have scored more than just the one that they scored in the first half. Maybe they'd consider themselves unlucky hitting the post as well, but City weren't at the races. Going into the second half, City were looking better, they were distributing better, they got to grips better with the game. But if there's one thing that we know from playing at Anfield for so many seasons under Pep Guardiola, with the smaller pitch, smaller than any other Premier League team's pitch, is that when you want to play a high pressing game, your distribution's got to be spot on, and if it isn't, you've got to clear the ball and clear your lines and organise yourself. You've got to sit tight, reduce the space, make life really difficult for Liverpool. Nottingham Forest beat Liverpool at Anfield this season. The only defeat that Liverpool have tasted in the Premier League so far this season. They sat really tight, restricted the space really well. City, at times, couldn't wait to give the ball away to Liverpool, and my only surprise is that Liverpool, with how good are the attackers that they've got, haven't punished City and maybe should have come away with scoring 3, 4, maybe even 5 goals from this game. For Manchester City, Other than that, Kevin De Bruyne, a big opportunity towards the end of the game, just couldn't work the way into this match and ultimately ended up losing the game. And I feel like our game plan after 12 minutes from Cody Gakpo kind of put an end to what Manchester City were hoping to achieve from this game. No idea why Manuel Akanji's been so slow to allow Salah to go onto his left foot. I think he was having a shot there, Salah, and Gakpo's read it so well just to have a tap in at the back post and make it 1-0. And if your game plan's to sit tight, to defend, to score first, after 12 minutes to allow Liverpool to score the first goal, to me, was only going to suggest one-way traffic. Now, it's not a do-all and end-all for Manchester City's season. We've been to Anfield plenty of times and lost plenty of time, so I'm not going to sit here and say that it's an absolute disaster, that Manchester City don't know what they're doing and there's serious questions that have got to be asked. We go to Anfield all the time and lose, so to me, Man City's season isn't decided on what happens at Anfield. If it was a knockout game or if it's in the Champions League, a knockout game in the first leg or the second leg, then that might be a little different, but we've got 37 other games to play in the Premier League, and ultimately if we don't have success come the end of the season, Liverpool, maybe I'll suggest that it could be crucial if it ends up being really tight at the top of the Premier League, but handing your Premier League rivals 3 points is never a good thing, but away from home it's always going to be difficult. So I'd normally be thinking to myself, well, we've drawn against Arsenal at home, so we need to make sure when we go to the Emirates that we either pick up a draw or beat them to cancel out that result at the Etihad. And then same with this match at the Anfield. I'm thinking to myself, cancel it out by beating Liverpool at the Etihad. And that's how you work things out. But ultimately, we find ourselves 11 points behind at the top of the Premier League because we're in a poor run of form. No wins in 7 games. 6 losses out of 7 with 1 draw and no wins. I think it's 4 games in a row now that Manchester City have lost in the Premier League. What can Manchester City do here to try and turn this season around? Because we've been looking at it and saying, right, well, we're second in the league. We're not second in the league anymore. We're 5th in the Premier League. And at the moment, City have got to be concerned about trying to finish in the top 4. Brighton are over us on goal difference. Nottingham Forest, we play them next. They beat us at the Etihad. They go over us. Tottenham, they win their next game. They go over us. Brentford, Manchester United, Fulham, Newcastle, Aston Villa, we've got them coming up as well. Even AFC Bournemouth as well. All chasing pack. Manchester City just 5 points clear of 13th. Not really good enough for Manchester City. So where do we go from here? What do we do to change this? Questions, guys, in the comments, please do answer them. So there we go, that has been today's video. Don't forget, leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Get your thoughts in the comments below. What can City do to turn this form around? And also don't forget to go and check out my social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too. Go and hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And as you can see, back in my normal location now. We'll be back again tomorrow with regular Manchester City content. My preview ahead of Manchester City v Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. Very, very big game. I'll see you then. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.